Hi, if you don't know me, I'm Lucy. I actually took this course for 1 week 2 years ago and I dropped it because I was afraid. I am a white middle-class woman that grew up in a predominantly white area, and most of my friends in high school were a majority white. I didn't really learn about systemic racism and was essentially taught to be colorblind, to kind of see people around me, people of color, as equal, to ignore their skin tone and just see them as not different from me. Coming to college, I acquired more intimate relationships with people of color, but I still didn't really seek to understand their struggle or talk about race with them. Taking this class a second time, I wish that I had taken it sooner. I didn't realize that the people I loved were carrying this weight on their backs that they can't take off. It's something that they were born with and they can't change. And something that put them at a disadvantage and put me innately ahead of them in almost all aspects. I have had real conversations with the people in my life about racism and their personal struggle, and I feel like I know them better now because of it, and that we have a better relationship. Being in an interracial relationship with a black man, throughout the course I would tell him I'd be excited about something we learned in class or something that I read, and he'd just nod his head because it was something that he already knew because he'd lived with it his whole life. Having these discussions, though, about race intimately with a race other than my own, not being afraid and being willing to open to their perspective was really beneficial, not only to me, but I think to our relationship and him as well. At the time, I felt foolish being excited, telling him things that he already knew like the back of his hand. But after we talked, I felt enlightened. I think I understood more about him, a piece of his puzzle that made him who he was. I think this has also made me more open to all people of color, because I don't see their racial difference as a taboo subject, but as something that's to be positive, to be celebrated, and to be talked about. I see people more as individuals and assume less about them because of their skin color. Prior to taking this course, I think my racial identity and comfort level negatively influenced those around me because I didn't see all of them. I only saw what I chose to see. I didn't acknowledge my privilege, and it likely made people of color around me feel resentful, because why would they want to get to know me and work with me when I don't even seek to understand them? Looking back, I falsely thought I was comfortable in this setting, but now I know that I'm more comfortable than ever. I identify as a white woman, and at times I felt like I was missing information that I didn't know. I felt like there was something I didn't understand, and looking back, I realized that it was my ignorance, and I felt uncomfortable because I couldn't grasp who those around me were, and they knew that I couldn't do that. And now I not only feel more comfortable with my racial identity and acknowledging my privilege and seeing those around me as the individuals they are, but I feel like those around me feel more inclined to work with me on a deeper level, and they feel more comfortable wanting to get to know me as a person. I'm not afraid anymore of embracing this discussion. I don't think I'm colorblind anymore, and I see the differences among the people around me not as a hindrance, but as something that makes them who they are, and something that I need to understand about them if I want to understand them as a person.